What's up, duelists? Oh my gosh, back-to-back videos. I know, even when I don't have internet, I'm delivering for you guys. Banger video today. Absolutely banger video today. Ever since RBT New York, the only card that's been on my mind has been Trap Stun. This card is so insane. It's so good in decks where your monsters are resilient or can replace themselves or are just absolutely belligerent in some cases. It's probably one of the most underrated cards in Edison format overall. I think this card has a place in almost every single main deck. We saw it in Blackwing's top 8 RBT New York. We saw 3 copies in the first place Glad's RBT New York. We saw it in all the other Glads in the top cut from RBT New York. We saw it in Machina. We saw it in a bunch of different decks. Quick Draw from RBT New York as well. It's just a busted card. It just lets you play through multiple back row at once without having to worry too much. It's kind of like a delayed Heavy Storm 2 or 3. It also works against chainable traps, which is pretty important. I mean, being able to counter Deck Devastation Virus, Trap Dust Shoot, or stuff even as simple as Deep Prison is very useful. So this is my brand new Fairies list. I've been playing it a ton. It's actually pretty difficult to play and narrate at the same time, so I'm going to show you guys some replays. The games are incredibly grindy, but I think this deck is amongst the best decks in the format. I mean, every time I play it, I seem to find that it does pretty well into all of the meta, and it also just like has Christia, which is broken, so there's that. Also, if you finish watching this video and you want to see more of this deck and you want even more tips on this deck, I also did a collab with the Edison Club. You can check him out where we play this deck, and I show him how to utilize Christia to generate infinite resources and deck your opponent out. So that's a pretty cool video if you guys want to watch that one as well. But yeah, let's just go ahead and hop right into the replays. The first one I've got for you is versus Vikapuro. This is going to be versus Amaryllis, which is a pretty popular deck. I believe Amaryllis. I could be wrong. It might be versus something else. But yeah, I think it is versus Amaryllis. Yeah. So it's a pretty popular deck right now. I mean, this is like kind of the premier plant deck of the format. It has some pretty good results. Got top 4 in New York. It also has gotten top 2, top 3 a bunch of times. It's never really won a major tournament yet, but it's been so close. Anyway, he attacks into my Shining Angel. Turn 1 set Shining Angel plus Trap Stun. I just want to take a minute to appreciate how busted this opening is. It's so strong. Next turn, I can play into Torrential, Mirror Force. I can just play however I want to play. And then if my opponent has Dust Shoot, I can just counter it. If my opponent has anything to stifle my second normal summon, I can just counter it. Yeah, it's busted. Anyway, Angel's going to get a resolve. We get the Warrior Lady. You already know what's happening here. We got the Resource Engine. We're going to go ahead and summon the Alchemist because the Warrior Lady is going to be instantly live, and we just want to get our guys looping. We banish Heavy Storm, which would normally suck, but in this deck with 3 Trap Stuns, it's like we got 4 Heavy Storms, so it's not really that big of a deal. Go ahead and attack the Card Trooper and banish it. So he takes 1100 and then 1800 to the face. Sometimes Amaryllis plays Gores, but it's not often. They usually don't, so I'm pretty confident attacking here with the Dimensional Alchemist. Now, that being said, don't take my word here for like anything. Could have Gores in Amaryllis. I mean, there's no reason why they couldn't play Gores. It's a good card, right? But usually the lists I see don't play it, so I feel pretty confident attacking. He goes for a little T-set action. We draw into Torrential, which is a goated card versus deck. I'm going to play Sangan. Feel pretty confident playing multiple cards into a sweeper. Even if he Torrentials or Mirror Forces here, I might not use Trap Stun. Who knows? We'll see. Banish another copy of Trap Stun. Oh well. Gonna go ahead and swing with the Alchemist. It's Lord Poison. He's gonna use Lord Poison to bring back the Titanial. Pretty cool interaction there. Mill Titanial, bring it back with Lord Poison. Kind of like a reverse Lone Fire Blossom. Pretty sick. That being said, this deck, our deck, Fairies, doesn't give a shit about Titanial. Like, we just DD Warrior Lady, Honest, whatever. However we want to deal with it. Even Christia, just crash, +1, infinite for days. Normal Lila, I think we just let this happen. Yeah. Oh no, actually I chained Torrential. Interesting. Priority activate Lila here is smart because if I do have Torrential, I'm going to have to make my Alchemist miss timing. So I like the play from the opponent. Sangan's going to activate. So unfortunately, Lila Chainlink 1, Torrential Chainlink 2 makes Alchemist miss timing. We're not going to get back our Warrior Lady, but we could go search another Alchemist here and just be chilling. I think that's what I do. Yeah. So one thing a lot of people are going to ask about who normally play this deck, they're going to be like, oh, Keegan, why do you play 3 Alchemist? And I think that Alchemist is the best card in this deck. It's kind of the reason to play it. You summon it and it digs you towards Christia. So it's kind of just like seeing extra cards towards Christia. It's like, I don't know, instead of opening 6 cards, I get to open 7 cards. And the percent chance that you see Christia on 7 cards is higher. Okay, if he survives a turn, then I get to see another extra card. It's like you get to see 2 cards every turn. And every turn you get closer to that Christia. And every turn this guy is setting up for your return from the different dimension. On top of that, a lot of times you'll find yourself in a situation where you're like, oh, I have a Nova Summoner and I can attack my opponent. But I would like to play a second monster to attack my opponent. In my build here, you'll notice that I have actually 5 really good summons as a second normal summon. Sangan Card Trooper, both pretty good to play into Mirror Force Torrential, and then triple Dim Alchemist, Dimensional Boy, Dimensional Guy, whatever you call him. So it's just a really good second normal summon. So like if you want to commit to the board and just apply a lot of pressure, even something like Nova Summoner plus Alchemist is 3,200 face. And if you have something like Honest, you're looking at winning the game in 2 short turns. So you can take control of the game really, really quick and apply a lot of fast pressure with Dimensional Alchemist. And that's why I like to play the full 3. I find that this card is just incredibly strong and should be maxed out, generally speaking. Oh, that's a different replay. All right. Moving on, yeah, search the second Alchemist. Summon Alchemist, banish Herald of Orange. So that's another reverse toolbox option. We're now 14 cards towards seeing Christia, which is like, you know, eventually we're going to see Christia. The more cards we dig towards Christia here, the better. He's going to go ahead and try and Karma Cut, and boom, there you go. Trap's done, proving its worth. Imagine we had Typhoon that and he had chained it. Oh, it would have felt so bad. Now I get to save my Typhoon for Mark of the Rose. I'm just cooking, man. I'm just cooking. This deck is so gas. That's just solid +1 plus 1,800 damage to the face. Really, really strong interaction. And that's just like, it's like day 1 shit with Trap Stun, but discard traps normally give this deck like a fucking headache. And so making sure you have the Trap Stun to counter those is absolutely massive. Gonna set the bottom list to try and ping that Amaryllis. Don't want to play too much into Heavy Storm if we don't have to. Yeah, you just sets, passes. Doesn't even Amaryllis, which is weird. I'm like, all right, let's mind control that boy. Realize it's Morphing Jar. So normally when I mind control against this deck, I expect it to be Raikou or Lord Poison or Dandelion. In this case, it is Morphing Jar, so a little bit of a mix-up. Pretty happy with that. The Dandelion one's obviously the worst one to see off mind control, but I was just hoping it'd be a Raikou there so I wouldn't have to burn my Typhoon. A little bit awkward if it's another discard trap, but turns out it was brain control. The reason I felt comfortable going for the Typhoon is because he set Jar and only set 1. So I'm like, okay, he only had 1 spell in his hand to set, so I'm going to go ahead and just Typhoon that because it's probably the only spell he had in his hand. I'm going to normal Honest, set, activate Alchemist, banish the top. I don't know why I activated first. I don't think there's really a reason to activate first or second or whatever, but I don't know. Flip Jar. What we could have done here was actually keep the Honest in hand and like hope to draw a better normal summon. But it's only like specifically Warrior Lady or the 3rd Alchemist or Card Trooper. Yeah, I probably should have just pitched the Honest, honestly. No pun intended. So a little bit of a mistake here from your boy. But shouldn't matter too much. This game should be wrapped up shortly. 2,900 to the face. We've got Honest in hand. How are you ever beating Dimensional Alchemist with Honest in hand? Set, pass. Even if he storms us, we've got Dust Shoot to kind of tear apart his hand. Go ahead and flip the Dust Shoot. We get to see his hand. Let's go ahead and show it. As you can see, he does have the Storm, so he has comeback potential, but just nothing he can really do about this Honest, and that's gonna happen. Like, just no way around it, you know? Take the Raikou. Heavy Storm happens, whatever. He's gonna charge the Light Brigade, mill 3, go get Raikou. He has to play pretty defensively because if he does anything here, then we can just drop Honest and win. So he's gonna go get Dandelion in defense, stack for Plague, stack Sangan. So interesting not stacking the Sangan before using Loamfire. It means he's comfortable drawing Sangan next turn, which is interesting. He's gonna Synchro into Catastor, get 2 tokens. And this is going to pop our Alchemist, and we will be able to add back Herald of Orange. So this is where the game gets into a little bit of a stalemate, and this is why I think the deck is pretty difficult to commentate and play at the same time. Here's a little bit of like heads-up advice for anyone who wants to play fairies or this type of build. You never really want to go over 4 fairies unless you have access to your 1-of Soul Release. Let's go ahead and look back at the build. There is a 1-of Soul Release that can allow you to control the graveyard, and a 1-of Cyber Valley that can allow you to control the graveyard a little bit. But generally speaking, unless you have one of these cards, you don't want to go over your fairy count, because then Christia becomes dead, and when they put it back on top of your deck, it's actually a liability instead of a strength. So we draw Shining Angel. A lot of options here. I just summon Shining Angel, attack the ally. He's going to pop my Angel. Totally fine. Once again, don't want to use Herald. Just want to go to 4, special Christia, add back Alchemist, get our +1. It's a -1 for a +1, but now he has to act, right? He has to commit this Raikou. That's pretty much it. He has to commit the Raikou that we know about. We know his hand because of the Trap Dashu. We know the card that he stacked on top of his deck is Sangan. So, yeah. So basically we can just summon the Christia here and be like, all right, set the Raikou or give me back my Christia. And then next turn I'm actually going to go +2 on him because Alchemist crash into ally gets me back something. And then I can special the Christia, add back the Alchemist, and I'm plussing off of his own ally just being in play. So he basically has to set the Raikou to try and deal with this Christia, or else we've established an infinite resource loop against him, which is eventually just going to kill him. So, yeah, sets monster, passes, normal Alchemist, just going to do it anyway. And then we'll set the Mirror Force. So the reason I don't know what I'm doing here. I could crash into this guy, add something back. Yeah, I just want to leave him locked. I think that's it. Just pass. I understand that I win this game, so there's no real reason to think. He just goes Drago, we draw, we find Cyber Valley, activate Alchemist, banish the Christia. Now that we have a Christia banished, we can even play into a set Raikou potential, because even if the Raikou pops the Christia here, then we can Card Trooper crash, add back the Christia, or like Card Trooper mill, and then crash the Alchemist, add back the Christia type shit. So, yeah, pretty useful. Add Cyber Valley, whatever, just kill some guys. I mean, eventually he's going to lose to this. Like, he can't beat this. So, yeah, just pass. He sets the Raikou finally, and yeah, that's all she wrote. Attacks the set. It's going to be Raikou. Again, never have to Herald. Never have to go above 4 fairies. You're just going to win this no matter what. There's, like, nothing you can do. Attack. Pass the turn. Normal Valley. And now we have Checkmate, which is just Brain Control and Herald on the Cyber Valley. So, once again, just, like, don't get greedy. Don't play into something stupid like a Lightning Vortex, like, accidentally, like, killing you and locking you out of using Christia. Just play smart, keep it at 4 fairies or keep it below 4 fairies, and don't get greedy with it, and you'll eventually win because Christia is inevitability versus every deck. This is checkmate versus every deck, and as long as the game is stalemated, you will eventually win. So, yeah. Whatever. Herald revealing the Honest because that's the one he knows about, and going into the next game, you'll see that we've opened up kind of mid, but it is what it is. Just pass. He goes set, 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 set. Dust shoots us. I think the opponent makes a mistake here. He takes Nova Summoner. I don't know if this is a mistake, but let's look at what he's got, right? He's got Scrap Iron Scarecrow, which should never be in your deck. I know some people had some success playing this card in Amaryllis at Ultimate Time Wizard stuff, but I cannot stress enough that this card is bad. Like, it is just a bad card. It is worse than Deep Prison 100% of the time. And Deep Prison is kind of a mid card. Just cut this card. Play 40. You'll be 1 card deeper to that trade-in that would have unbricked your hand. Pretty terrible deck choice there, honestly. And it's crazy. Like, people will say, like, oh, play 42, and then they'll include, like, dog shit mulligans in their deck, and it's just like, well, you could cut that card and be 1 card deeper just for something good. Like, I don't get it. There's no logic behind playing this card, and this game is going to be pretty exemplary of it. Maybe he feels safe because of the Soul Release. Like, I won't get Christia alive under Soul Release, but yeah, just poke with Honest. I felt the Alchemist was a little bit more useful. He digs us deeper in our deck, and I figured if we lose one of our Honest, we have another one. It's not that big of a deal. So yeah, just poke. Set 1, leave the Honest in play in case he wants to tribute summon Titanial. He can't even attack over this Honest, even if he clears the back row. So he just foolishes Necrogardener and passes. Probably should have Foolish Dandy just to get 2 tokens. He's got Miracle Fertilizer though, so another reason, I don't know, if I was him I would have attacked. Just because, like, if I Mirror Force now, then it's like, oh, you can Miracle Fertilizer, bring back your Titanial next turn. That's pretty cool. Because now what are you hoping to do? Like, negate my attacks? Sure, but what did I say last game? The longer the game goes, the closer I'm going to get to Christia, and the more likely I'm going to win. Normal Summon Alchemist. I realize at this point he's trying to stall me out until he has some sort of checkmate, but his deck doesn't have checkmates and mine does, so yeah, gonna go ahead and just attack. He reveals Scrap Iron Scarecrow. Now imagine this is a Deep Prison, right? It's a totally different game. He's actually crushing if it's a Deep Prison. But as it stands, I mean, card is so fucking bad. I don't even know how to describe it. Literally every time I've seen this card used, Deep Prison would have been better. Karma Cuts the draw. He has no good discards at this point, so it's not even worth mentioning. There's Trap Sun, so that's pretty good. Just going to activate Alchemist. He's going to let that resolve. Banish Shining Angel. Set the Trap Stun. No reason to attack yet. Draw Warrior Lady. That's pretty good. Go ahead and commit that. We have Trap Stun, so like even if he has Torrential Mirror Force, like we're fine. Banish the Sangan. Go ahead and attack with the Alchemist. He's going to flip Scrap Iron Scarecrow. I'm going to flip Trap Stun. He's going to flip Karma Cut, but this doesn't even matter. Like, I get 3 for 2, and then like what? Oh, he's going to hit the Warrior Lady even? Yeah, just 3 for 2. Solid. And then Honest clears the Titanial for 1800 damage, and he's just down 5 cards to 2 because he decided to include fucking Scrap Iron Scarecrow on his deck. And Trap Stun is broken, so yeah, I mean, all of the stuff that I mentioned in the intro kind of showcasing itself in this match here. Trade-in. He finally finds it. Would have found it a turn earlier if he wasn't playing Scrap Iron Scarecrow, but alas, here we are. He's forced to Fertilizer. This doesn't even matter. We have another Honest. We also have Bottomless, so might as well just fire that. Passes the turn. We draw Book. Banish. Normal Honest. Hit for 29. Honest is so broken. Bounce the Honest. Set the Book, probably. Pass the turn. He draws Mirror Force. Sets it. I can just Typhoon that if I want to. I don't think I do. I think I just attack. Yeah. You have to Mirror Force my Alchemist. Mark of the Rose. We have Book. Saving the Typhoon in case he has DDR. DDR is going to hit his Mirror Force in the end phase. That's going to be game. Oh, it's not game because he has Necro, but I think he concedes because, yeah, it's just game. It's just game. Brutal. Deck's great. All right, next replay. Next replay is versus Pineapple Bre. So this is a matchup that some people think is hard for this deck. I think it can be hard for this deck, but you guys will see. This is Frog Hero. So opening hand is pretty good. We have our 1 of Soul Release, which is normally a game 1 win against Frogs if you just draw it. However, my opponent plays this game like really weirdly. I think it's because he has the second Treeborn in hand. Oh, he doesn't. That's weird. Okay. So he just plays this game really weirdly. I just draw Pass. And he draws Dust Shoot. So this is kind of bullshit, right? Like, oh man, of course he rips Dust Shoot here. We would have been fine if he didn't rip Dust Shoot here, but... So like, if he goes soft Duplock and leaves the other Treeborn in deck, then Grand Mole can just out that. And if he goes hard Duplock and puts both Treeborn in the grave, then Soul Release hits both Treeborn and then we just win. So... it's just so unfortunate he hit Dust Shoot. It's so unlucky. But, yeah. As it stands, we can't out a soft Duplock. Which sucks. He's going to summon Dupfrog and set the Dust Shoot and pass. I actually don't like this play from the opponent. I think it's bad. I think he should just go through all the frogs. I don't know why he didn't. It, like, literally doesn't make sense. Like, yeah, it just doesn't make sense. Like, I don't know why you're ending on this. Like, do you want to draw Treeborn next turn? Do you want to draw Swap Frog next turn? It doesn't make any sense. Just go through them all. Game 1, who's playing Soul Release, right? Like, what are you playing around? You have no information. But it ends up working out for him, so... yeah, I think sometimes play bad, get rewarded. It happens. And my hand sucks. I could mind control the dupe and then run over the sub, but I'm actually just going to concede this game as soon as I see more info. So he's going to go ahead and sack, bring out the second dupe, Instant Fusion, and then Miracle. And not even misplay there. He could have sacked whatever he brought out off of Instant Fusion, but decided not to for no reason. And then he would have had more play there, but yeah. Game 2, I just decided to concede because we're dead to that absolute zero. There's like nothing we're really drawing. Game 2, we get to side in a bunch of stuff. And you'll see, we've got the Soul Takers, we've got Needle Sealing, we've got Mask of Restrict. We could even bring in Crows if we want to. So, Chalice as well is pretty good. But yeah, it's mostly the Needle Sealing. Just get 2 Torrentials. And in this matchup, I do side out 2 Trap Stun, Typhoon, and Heavy Storm. So I do leave in 1 Trap Stun because they do sometimes play traps. Like we saw in that last one. The first Trap Stun is usually pretty good. It's actually going to hit like a Phoenix Wing or whatever else. This matchup post board gets insanely good. Like, there's really not much they can do to you post board that you care about. You can just kind of play slow and you'll eventually win. Set Nova Summoner. He goes Summon Stratos, search Infernal Prodigy. This is an interesting moment where he could choose to attack or choose not to attack. He decides to attack. I don't think this is a good play, but it is a play you can make. It will trigger DD Warrior Lady. It'll trigger Nova Summoner. The only reason you'd attack there is if you predicted like the one of Raikou or something like that, but yeah. Just going to bounce the Honest. I have Torrential Card Trooper. Mill 3. I hit a Mask, which sucks. And it does suck. We sighted in like 7-8 cards. Just didn't draw any of them, but should be fine. We have Torrential, which is really good versus Frogs. And he doesn't have his Frog shit going, so we're just winning. Set the Torrential, pass. He goes Normal Ocean, attack our guy. We just let this happen. We don't really want a Torrential now, because if we Torrential now, then he'll get Water plus Hero and Grave. I'd actually rather banish this guy if possible. So yeah, we draw into Warrior Lady, and that's going to be perfect for us. So yeah, save the Torrential. You can get so much more value out of your Torrential in this matchup. Draw into Raikou, which is pretty good. Warrior Lady, banish this guy. Pass turn. He draws Set Monster. We draw Mind Control. I just set Bottomless. We have 2 chainables. If it's like Treeborn, he'll sack it for Caius. We can Bottomless or Torrential, whichever one he targets. And then if he goes for Miracle after that, we can do the other one. So yeah, we're pretty much insulated there. He sets another monster. We draw Solemn Judgment. Set, pass. He goes for the Caius here. I decide that because he sacked a Dupe Frog, his other set is better than Dupe Frog, which is pretty rare. So what's better than Dupe Frog? Oh, it's got to be the other Dupe Frog, right? So this is a perfect moment to Torrential Tribute. Chainlink 2, and it'll make his other Dupe Frog miss timing. He tries to activate it, but Chainlink 1 is Caius, Chainlink 2 is Torrential Tribute, so it misses timing. We draw Herald of Orange, which means I pretty much win this game, so yeah, just 1400 to the face. Him not having Treeborn access is pretty rough, but he's sighted in a bunch of like interesting cards. I also think like some of these cards, like Lad and DD Crow, are like just fucking mulligans against fairies. Armed Sea Hunter is also a mulligan. Pretty interesting card, but it's not very good. He goes ahead and specials this guy, pitches an Armed Sea Hunter, specials a Swap Frog, which tells me he has another Armed Sea Hunter in hand. Swap Frog is going to send Treeborn, so he finally gets his Treeborn access, but kind of too little too late. I mean, like, we're already pretty set up here. He's going to normal summon Armed Sea Hunter. I'm going to flip Bottomless. Even though he can negate this Bottomless, or redirect this Bottomless to the Swap Frog, that means he can no longer negate my Shining Angel because he doesn't control another water monster. This card's just pretty bad. I just don't think this card is very good. He misclicks a couple of times, attacks Shining Angel. That's fine. Just go get Warrior Lady. I believe we have 4 fairies. He uses his Crow here, and now just look at this situation. I'm drawing to 8 cards. He has 4, 2 of which are mulligans, and 2 of which are dead. So I literally have 8 cards to my opponent's 0. Like, once you cut your dead cards out of your deck, like, this matchup becomes so fucking free. It's, like, crazy free. We got Christia here. We can even modular into 4 fairies thanks to Herald of Orange Light being a Synchro material. And we could just flip return just for flex points. Get back our guys. Synchro, make Brownic, special Christia, add back guy. And we have lethal here with double honest. So, yeah, just attack. Don't waste any more time. Drop double honest. And go next. Okay, so yeah, hopefully this game will draw some of our sideboard cards, so it'll be even more of a shutout. Who knows? We'll see. Oh, would you look at that? Mask of Restrict. Opponent is playing, sets monster, passes to us, set Raikou, set Bottomless, set Mask. If you have Heavy Storm, you have Heavy Storm. Just make them have it. They only have it 15% of the time, so sometimes they're not going to have it. Flip Mask, so he can't Caius me. He flips the Treeborn Frog. Let's see what he's got. Let's see what Mask is doing here. Mask is stopping Substitute, Light and Darkness Dragon. That's it, but that's still pretty good. I mean, 1 for 2 is pretty good. So, normal the Armed Sea Hunter, same shit. Just Bottomless this. He'll redirect. That's fine. This doesn't activate, so I can't Herald it, I'm pretty sure. He pitches Special Swap, activates. We just Herald that because I want to be able to clear all of his cards. He's going to go for the Sea Hunter to attack another Raikou, but yeah, Raikou's going to resolve, pop the Sea Hunter, mill 3. And we are at 3 fairies now towards Christia, and we have an active Mask of Restrict. He's got very few resources to work with, so we're just kind of crushing. Draw Warrior Lady, just pass. This could banish a lone Treeborn if he leaves it in play, which he might. Who knows? Sets monster passes. We draw Torrential, so another God card. We have functionally 2 copies of this with Needle Sealing, but man, just drawing them is really nice. He draws Caius, another dead card. Crow just does nothing. Mirror Force does nothing. Torrential. We finally find Cyber Valley, which is really good, because that means I can banish both Treeborns now, which is cool. So just do that. Banish both, draw 2. I could have targeted his set, like in case it was like Dandelion or something, but I don't know. I figured like just banishing Treeborn is like getting rid of the infinite, and then we draw Solemn, so now we have Solemn Mask, which is really busted. Draw Smashing Ground, but whatever. We can just play Draw Go now. Probably has only so many outs to this. I'd say maybe 2 or 3 that can't just stop. End phase, he goes to discard. He crows me instead, so +1 for us. Draw the Alchemist. Normal Warrior Lady. Just decide to banish this guy. The reason I'm doing this is because I want to play around Dust Shoot if possible. So I'm just like spending my cards to keep at 3 cards in hand on the draw phase. He said Soul Exchange, passes turn. We draw another mask, so that's pretty much checkmate. Like, just save Solemn for the heavy, and we have double mask. So hit for 32. We can start playing the game now, actually, because we have everything we need. He has Instant Fusion. He could Smashing Ground us here, but it's like kind of mid. He just sets a bunch, passes. Banish Needle Ceiling. Oops. Would have liked to draw that, but doesn't matter at this point. He's got Mirror Force. It's fine. Alchemist add back Cyber Valley. Now we've got Brain Valley to dig towards Christia, and we're at 4 fairies, so. Yeah, only thing is like he's got to have to play into one of our back rows here. I set the Shining Angel. This was probably a mistake. Shouldn't have done this. Draw Soul Taker. He goes Instant Fusion. Brings out Mariner. Miracle Fusion. Whatever. Brings out Absolute Zero. This is fine, though. If he attacks me, I'll just get Warrior Lady, banishes Absolute Zero, and turn off all his future Miracle Fusions, so. Yeah, not really a problem. He Dust Shoots me, so me playing around Dust Shoot just didn't do anything. He takes Honest, which is weird. Probably should have taken the Cyber Valley, but doesn't matter. He just passes. He has Trap Eater to kill the Mask of Restrict, so pretty cool card. But we've got another one at this point, so it doesn't matter. He attacks the set Shining Angel. We're able to float into Warrior Lady. And here you can flip the Smashing Ground to kill the Warrior Lady, but this is absolutely fine. Draw Mirror Force. Brain Control to 0. 0 run over the Trap Eater. He takes 6. Normal Valley. Banish both. Draw 2. Draw into Christia. We have 5 fairies, but eventually we'll draw Soul Release, and we'll be able to set that up. So, yeah, just set Mirror Force. He draws Nobleman. Nobleman hits Mirror Force. It's fine. Doesn't matter. Card Troopers are 2-turn clock, so figure might as well mill 3 and just end this game. I've got Solemn Judgment. He has no plays. So, pass turn. He draws Typhoon. Just flip the Solemn because he top decked it this turn, or else he would have played it last turn. Sets monster, passes. I've got Grand Mole. Attack with Grand Mole, bounces Guy, and then attack directly for 19. So, yeah, once again, it's like one of those matchups where, like, game 1 it can be a little annoying, but game 2 and game 3, it's like your sideboard just carries, like hard carries. They don't really have a lot of good. I mean, this list is probably a little bit wonky, and he was siding in Crows versus us, which is like bad. But I think even against like the different lists, you can leave in variations of like trap stuns based off of how much discard trap they're playing. If they're playing like 6 discard traps, you can just leave in trap stuns, and you're pretty fine in the matchup. The sideboard does a lot of heavy lifting, so you should be favored. Like, you should honestly win games 2 and games 3 like maybe 90% of the time versus this deck. Game 1, you're probably slight unfavorite, but even then, like, if you just have a Christia setup or a Christia layup, like, you just win. So, yeah, I don't know. All right, next match. This is the one that's going to be the... This is a doozy. This is a hard one. This is going to be a hard one to commentate. Open up all monsters, which is tough. When you open up all monsters, there's a couple ways to approach things. DD Warrior Lady, Nova Summoner. I decided to go with DD Warrior Lady to get my Alchemist live. Next turn, I would like to flip this into a bottomless Summon Alchemist. Seems like the fastest line for me. He just passes, which is crazy. So I'm just going to set more and pass. I'm like, okay, he has to play a card this game or he's going to have to discard end phase. He only has 2 cards in his extra, so he's telling me he's probably playing the Winged Ronos control deck. He passes back to us. We draw Trap Stun, which, as you can imagine, is very insane versus this deck. The reason I'm setting my monsters is because I don't want to play into Needle Ceiling if I don't have to. Typhoon hits our Trap Stun. Brutal. If this Trap Stun had stuck, we probably would have won the game like next turn. Like straight up, like, okay, he's got Reckless Compulsory. All right, whatever. We just summon a guy, flip all of our guys, and just go aggro with it. He flips a trap card. We flip Trap Stun. He's forced to use his other trap card if it's actionable. We kill his monster. We get in for like 9,000 points of damage. Even if he clears our board, we have Christia drop coming. Yeah, pretty brutal, but Sadly, he draws his one of Typhoon and is able to clear our trap stun. We chain it. He chains Reckless Greed, whatever. He's now draw locked, so that's pretty good for us. He flips Mask of Darkness. He adds back Reckless Greed, and yeah. It may seem like he has a lot more cards than us, right? Like he has 9 cards and he has a Reckless. It's going to draw him to 10, I believe. And we only have 7, drawing to 8. But he has to convert those cards into something meaningful and something real. Like, this Mask of Darkness, not very real. Doesn't really get through our guys. This Winged Rhinos, it's just not a good card, man. It's just an 1800 vanilla versus us. What do? Attack into a Warrior Lady? Lose your Rhinos? Oh, there goes your only win condition. You lose. GG. Oh my gosh, that's exactly what he does. Okay. He attacks the Sangan. Sangan searches Herald. I don't know if this was correct. I actually considered searching another Alchemist here. I think another Alchemist might have been more correct. Herald doesn't seem like it's doing much in this matchup besides going minus. And you'll see later that I make a mistake with Herald because I matchup inexperienced, but yeah. Anyway, normal Alchemist, activate. Have Deep Prison right now or lose your guy. And I know one of those cards is the Reckless. So he's going to compulse his own mask. We're going to be able to get in for 18. He's just went -1 and took 1800 damage. And now he's draw locked. And all of the sudden, who has the card advantage? Me. I have 7 cards. He has 7 cards. I'm going to draw to 8 first. So yeah, he goes end phase Reckless, which is fine. Yeah, totally fine. Normal's Breaker. Okay. This is going to trade 1-for-1 with Honest, and it's going to get us closer to Fairies in the Grave, and it's going to deal more damage to him. So, yeah, all wins for me. Set. He can't set the mask because he normal Breaker that turn. Activate Alchemist. Flip Nova. Attack. He goes Torrential on the summon. Totally fine. Add back Warrior Lady. Normal Shining Angel. Attack for 14. That's going to be my 4th Fairy, so... I probably should have normaled the Warrior Lady. But I didn't want to play into Bottomless, and I wanted to get damage in this turn while he had low back row. 2 out of 2 for Reckless. Set, pass. We have Mind Control. Get back our Trap Stun. Pretty broken. Normal the Warrior Lady first, because I wanted to bait something like Bottomless Trap Hole specifically. Then Mind Control second, or Compulsory or something like that. Flip the guy, add back the Trap Stun. Pretty busted. Now I try to cheat normal summon again, and I catch myself. I'm like, ah, shit. I already normal summoned the Warrior Lady. I don't know what I'm thinking. Long game, very grindy. You get the vibes. He deprisons the Angel. Kind of sucks for me because I wanted that guy to hit the grave, but we're also just kind of fine. Set, pass. He draws, hits for 900. What's in his hand? Accumulated plus Gorge plus Bottomless. Like, just really inactionable stuff. Like, stuff that just doesn't do anything. Normal summon the Nova Summoner. He's got Deep Prison. I'm going to book it because it's my last guy. I flip Nova. I attack again. And he found the 3rd Deep Prison. Kind of annoying, but ultimately fine. Just set the Herald, set the Bottomless Pass. Once again, we have inevitability. Christia just wins every late game. Eventually, just wins. Pass. Normal Angel. Attack. Oh, that worked. Do something about this Angel or lose. 14. Pass. 14. Pass. 14. Magic Cylinder? Alright, +1. Pass. Set monster, set back row, pass. Flip Trap Stun. Play your cards now or I'm winning the game this turn. Dust Tornado Chain. Okay. Compulsory, accumulated. Look at this Trap Stun. My opponent had 5 back row. Now he has no back row. And now I win. Awesome. Normal Warrior Lady, flip, make Bryonic, special Christia. That's all she wrote, baby. Just go for the checkmate. The late game checkmate. Trap Stun can do it through 5 back row. No problems. No questions. No anything. This game I play like an idiot. I think. Normal Card Trooper, mill 3, pass, or hit for 19. He has Gorge, we have Herald, so yeah. Start off down a few cards. Down a couple cards, kind of. Set, pass. Mill 3. Mill 1, actually, because I wanted to hit a 4th fairy. I didn't, Sag. He deprisons me. Kind of wanted that to happen, so Alchemist would be live. Set, pass. If he attacks this, we get back Card Trooper, and we're at 4 fairies. Sets, passes. And this is where I play the game like a dumbass. Flip. Activate. I have no reason to do this. I have no reason to activate this Alchemist. I have no reason to flip and play into like a possible deprison. There's no reason for me to do any of this. This is just greedy. There's literally no reason for this. And it just works. I'm never punished. Opponent has a bunch of cards, but, you know, they have to convert. Oh my god, I make the dumbest play here. It's so dumb. I think I play into Deep Prison. Yeah. What a stupid play. All I had to do was just set my cards and pass. Oh my god. What a stupid play. That play made this game take like 8 years longer than it needed to. Set. Mind control his monster, flip. Activate, pass. He attacks me for 12. If I just don't do that, I win this game, which is really annoying. Set honest. He has Grand Mole. Oh, okay, great. I'm getting cheesed by one ofs. That's awesome. Fucking lovely. Yeah, more Dyna beats. This is my dumbass forgetting that this deck plays Skill Successor too. I attack and I'm like, I could Chalice the Dyna. And that's safer. Like if I Chalice the Dyna and let the Honest die, then I can just drop Christia. And that probably wins. But I decided to Chalice my Honest. And he changed Skill Successor. And I'm like, I hate this game so much. Yeah, we take 12. I think we lose this one. Because I ran into a Deep Prison like a dumbass. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, I decided I was frustrated and wanted to play a third game before I had to go, which actually had to leave 5 minutes ago currently. So you guys are getting the banger game 3. I'm going to be late to my meeting, but it is what it is. Alright, normal Thunder King, set, trap, stun. How do I lose? Oh, he opened the one of course. 15% of the time they have it. Oh well. I play a bunch of sweepers and stuff, and I have the big guy right now, so he better have the big guy, or my big guy is going to big guy his big guy. Can I not play into Deep Prison once? Oh my god, my dumb ass. Just let him have the dead Deep Prison in his back row. He eventually won't be able to use it. Eventually I'll find Trap Stun or Heavy Storm. If I just leave Thunder King here, he can never attack me. I don't know what I'm doing. So bad. Normal Grand Mole. Bounce. He normals, sets, activates Jar of Greed. And I'm thinking, okay. Bro has one chainable trap card. Max. Why would you fire the Jar? Soul Taker. Chain. I'm like, alright, I'm going to chain Herald here. And he chains another Jar of Greed. And I'm like, dude. Why does he have all three? Why does he have chainable? I don't know why I made this play. This play's so bad. I can just summon the Grand Mole and pass. This is such a bad play. This is like... But, I mean, it doesn't matter because my deck is good and his deck is bad. But it just doesn't matter. He doesn't gain the 1,000 because I didn't pop his guy. Hit for 900. Like, this won't end up mattering. Which is crazy. But it's annoying because it makes the game go on for another 65 years. Because now, like... Okay, I have to set my guy. I have to wait. I'm down 6 cards to 3. Activate Alchemist. Banish the top. Do you have another Deep Prison? Compulsory on my monster. Okay, I got one of my cards back. Hit for 18. I got some damage into, which is kind of nice. He drops Trag. Lovely. He can just pitch the Rhinos to steal my Alchemist, and I kind of fucking lose. But he decides to normal the Rhinos. I don't know why he did this. Let's play Torrential. Pretty good 1-for-1 for me, plus it buys his whole turn. He's going to chain a whole bunch of shit, but like whatever, now he's draw locked. Alchemist buys back the Thunder King. I maybe should have got back the Warrior Lady. I'm not really sure. I was a little bit like worried about like knock or something like that. He sets some more back row and just passes. We draw Nova, set Shining Angel. Don't need to play into bottomless. Basically, as long as I don't lose life, I can win this game pretty easily. He knocks me. Okay, that sucks. He hits me with Kaiku, which is actually really good for me because I only have 2 Christias in post board versus this deck, and he's going to banish the Christia and make it live for our Alchemist, which we top deck, so awesome. Set Nova, he jars, normals Winged Rhinus, attack, activate, go get Honest. He can't get through this because his deck is bad. Draw Raikou. All of a sudden, my opponent has 7 cards and I have 6, but man, his 7 cards do not look that good. And I've got a Return from the Different Dimension looming. Activate Honest, bounce it. Normal Alchemist, activate. Attempt to attack the Rhinos. He legacies, bounces his Rhinos. Wow, that's terrible interaction. I just got a compulsory and a smash +1 for free. Add back Christia. Set back row. He has Dust Tornado. Alright, fine. But you know what? Now I've got Christia looming. I've got Soul Release to set up for the Christia in case I go over 5. I've got Thunder King plus Honest, which beats him. Both of those cards he can't get through. I've got Raikou, which beats him in the damage step. Yeah, I'm just chilling. Normal Rhino, set, pass. Normal Thunder King, bait the bottomless for our Christia. Sets back row, Heavy Storm. His top deck was Solemn, pretty brutal. I could have got a Christia off this turn, alas. Set Honest past the turn. You guys are probably wondering why not Brain Control, Double Sack for Christia, because you could just chain any trap and bounce this guy. There's really no reason to do that with the Winged Rhinos. With other guys like Kaiku, I could Brain Control him, but yeah, there's no reason. He just attacks into Honest. Skill Successors to pop the Honest, but now we have 4 fairies, so yeah. Standby phase, he goes for Transmigration Prophecy. Hard -1. This is an interesting moment where I could have flipped Raikou and then popped something, and then he like bounces his guy, or like he's forced to activate one of his back row or something like that. And then if I mill 2 fairies, it's pretty good. But if I don't mill 2 fairies, it's kind of bad. I'd have to mill 2 or 1 fairy. Actually, even 3 is fine. And then I could Soul Release and banish his stupid Skill Successor as well. But I don't know why I didn't do that. I think I just decided that I was going to win no matter what. So yeah, just set pass. He attacks. Shining Angel. Activates. Go gets another one. Draw Honest. Same situation. Attack. He deprisons. I just wanted to play through all of his back row in case there was like some crazy shit like Divine Wrath or something. I don't fucking know. He sets. He passes. We draw Solemn. Beautiful. That's going to guarantee our checkmate. Pass. Kaiku's going to attack the Raikou. We actually need to pop the Kaiku here so we can use our Soul Release in case we mill over the fairies. So make sure and pop Kaiku there. We don't mill over the fairies. We mill exactly to 4, which is really nice. I think he decides to attack my set now, but it is Honest, and he can use his Skill Successor to put me to 5, but that doesn't matter because we have Soul Release to control the grave. Oh my gosh. This is also because I just wanted to play into Deprison this game for no fucking reason. If I just left the Thunder King there, I would have got this so much faster. So stupid. Anyway, just banishing all the shit. Banish Solemn because of Mask. Go Christia. Add back the Dimensional Alchemist. Normal Dimensional Alchemist. Activate the effect. Banish the top card. Attack. Does he have the 3rd Deprison? He does. Wow. Surprise, surprise. He has the 3rd Deprison, but we have our own Solemn. So then this crash is going to happen, and we're going to add back Christia. Now we're at 4 fairies. Christia Special Summon. Add back the Honest. And now I'm just up cards, and I just win. So yeah, it's game. Set Brain Control to not get Dust Shooted. Did he already use Dust Shoot this game? No. So, yeah, there you go. That's it. Checkmate. Normal. Activate. Battle phase. Attack. It's playing into Deprison like me. If there's one thing that you've learned from this match, just don't play into Deprison if you don't have to. You can kind of just chill there, and eventually Christia will grind out the end game. Oh my gosh. I gotta head out, guys, but if you guys want more of this deck, go ahead and check out the Edison Club and subscribe. I may or may not play this deck more in the future. I might even bring it to my weekly league on Tuesday. Who knows? Maybe, possibly. If you want to see me play this deck in a tournament that has a lot of good players, maybe tell me in the comments or something. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.